Meghanne Storey, and I am listening to Band Chat.
Hey, welcome back to Band Chat. I'm your girl, Bonnie Freeman. I'm here tonight with a very, very, very special guest. I am so excited to have her. Ladies and gentlemen, Meghanne Storey. Yay! Hey, Megan, how are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm good. I'm great. I've been enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, you'll have to forgive. I'm a little under the weather because it went from really cold to super freaking hot, and then now it doesn't know what the hell it wants to do. I feel like Mother Nature's on the hooch right now. So, uh, we
Right, right. Oh no, I feel it too.
yeah, it's uh when the weather changes, so does my voice, and that really sucks. But I thank you so much for being here. Unfortunately, this is our second go around to try to sit down and have a band chat. The first time, I mean, rude, but my hard drive failed and took her interview with it. So we're gonna do the best we can to piece a new interview back together. Megan and I were very, very fortunate to meet finally for the first time at the Washington Independent Music Awards, where she won. Tell them which one you won.
Best. We won best. Well, I won best solo artist, and then my other project, my duo project with Raymond Hayden, won best pop song for Lemons.
That's absolutely
So
amazing.
check out Lemons. It's a cool song. It's on YouTube, Spotify, all of that.
So I'm going to grab those links and put them in the description below. But you are an amazing individual, lady. Not only are you a solo artist, uh, clearly a pop artist, but an author as well. And if I have my info correct, you just did a singing telegram too.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that? That's so rad.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So ever since I was a little kid and I saw the movie Beaches, all right, Bette Midler was dressed up in a rabbit suit singing, "Love's kind of funny with my bunny boy. I love him so hard. He's my bundle of joy." Anyway, I was like so into that. And I'm like, she's like, I hate my life in the movie. But I was like, I want to be a singing telegram. When I've been to singing telegram, I want to do everything she did. Like, I love that movie so much. I was like, I want to do everything she did. And I stumbled across this Facebook post like 2 years ago for this company that was looking for somebody to fill in. And I was like, what? I want to be a singing telegram. And they picked me. So I like walk into people's houses or their boardroom meetings like this last one was. And I just surprise them and I sing to them because somebody, a loved one, calls and hires a singing telegram. And they go through my YouTube channel and pick songs that I've already performed. And so it's really easy. I just go in, I dress up however they tell me to dress up and sing the songs that the client picks and surprise the hell out of somebody. And then I'm out. It's cool. It's a lot of fun.
That particular company that you're talking about caught my attention a couple years ago because they did like a rock and roll, um, singing telegram, and their commercial for it was so well put together. I think I became a top fan of theirs. Like instantly, I absolutely fell in love, and you just couldn't be like the more perfect person for that job. You have such a great personality, and you're, I mean, you really are a show woman as well. So Megan is a singer-songwriter from the state of Washington. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your music and how you got started in this?
I've always written music. I've always written songs like for as long as I can remember. I've always sang. My mom says that I could sing before I could talk. There's always something going on in my head. I come from a family of musicians. Also, my brothers and sisters all had bands. They were into music. They did music. I mean, they're children of the '70s, and from what I understand, there wasn't really a whole lot else to do other than just listen to records and hang out with each other and go to concerts and then go home and listen to records and collect tour t-shirts and all that stuff.
That sounds
Which
kind of like the
seems to
80s.
me like I would be like, yes. I'm more of an 80s kid. I was born at the very end of the '70s. And so like there's a lot of things I missed, but I got to do a lot of other things. So like music has always been a part of my life though. I was in the Seattle Girls Choir when I was young. I sang in a project called Everybody Has a Song. When I was 14, I went into a studio, wrote a studio song with there was another kid in the program that I was in that got picked. And like we did videos and there's there's a little clip that I share sometimes on my Facebook page of me at 14 going, I want my music to talk about who I am, tell my story and what I've been through and how I came out of it. And I'm just like, I watch it and I'm like, oh, little girl, you have no idea. So I didn't
That's
actually get started at
that's funny
the
because
capacity that I'm at now.
that's exactly what you
Go
did.
ahead, sorry.
How crazy is that?
Right? It's so
Yeah.
funny. But at the time, like I had no idea. Like my journey was just starting when I said all of that. It was so funny just looking back at her and just being like, oh, little girl, little girl. But I'm really glad that when I was 42, I decided I was going to come out of my garage and I was going to start singing the songs that I wrote on stages and I wasn't going to have any more stage fright. And okay, so it took me 3 years to get rid of the stage fright. Let's be honest. But I did it and I'm still here doing it. And I think it's just a matter of, chasing your dreams.
I mean, that's perfect because I personally went through that whole thing too. But the first time I ever hit the stage, that all went to the wayside, and I still get nervous, even like to this day. Where I'm like, I think you just get the jitters before you go onto a big
Mm-hmm.
stage. You know what I mean? What's the most difficult part of being a female musician?
Getting people to take you seriously,
That's
that's
a good
it's
one.
tough. Sometimes it's really tough. Um, getting people to take me seriously is probably my biggest thing. Now I've got to a point now where like I have like a group of people that they're just as serious as I am about it. And it's almost like I have to say, actually, I think it is. They appreciate my seriousness about it and how I'm so driven to get where I want to go and the things that I want to accomplish. And like it's all a learning process. And so I'm constantly learning. It's just like I think they're appreciative of it now versus like, oh my gosh, here she goes again. Impossible dreams. This girl, I don't know what she's thinking.
Right, and I hear that in a lot of band chats. It's kind of it's crazy how universal it is, but you're in the right place when you find that your people who actually support and and help boost you in what you're doing as bandmates. Because I mean, especially if you guys are going in the same direction, and that's really super important because um, like one person in your band decides that, oh well, we can do much better, then the shit starts, you know what I mean? So everybody's got to be on the same page about where you're going and what are you doing. So speaking of which, unfortunately,
Right?
again, our podcast that we had done, it crashed along with our system, and we had the actual opportunity to speak with Raymond, which is one of her, um, and I'll have her explain that to you. But that was one of the most enlightening gentlemen I think I'd ever had a chance to really talk to about his attitude, his focus, and his support of you, and the direction in which you, as well as his entire community, are going. So you're damn sure in the right place with the right people.
Oh man, these guys, they're just great people all the way around, all of them. Thank you. I'm dying. They're just great people. They they're Raymond is he's like he is a big brother to me. Like we're family at this point. I mean, he's told me a long time ago, he's like, I adopted you, you're mine, you're not going anywhere, I'm keeping you forever, you're my little sister. I love them both so much, him and his wife so much. They're so knowledgeable. They have such a different insight and such a interesting and unique point of view that it's like, I always try to like ask them questions or run things by them to find stuff out because there's things that they know that I just like simple things that I would have never thought of before, like, getting a mute button for my guitar.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's hilarious. I would have never known.
Oh, it makes a world of difference when I'm trying to tune.
Yeah, meeting them both at the award show, man, was really amazing. Those two are definitely enlightening beings, and I'm really honored that I got to meet them. But that was one thing that we were also talking about too,
Definitely.
the honor of being there that night, and being amongst that many people who supported one another, all share the same, struggles, the same, the there's a lot of similarities in all these different genres when it comes to being a musician. And standing there that night, you wouldn't have known that. You know what I mean? You would have just thought that everything is perfect. because there is so much support and so much love in that room. And um, like we were really honored just to even be amongst all those folks. So there it's out there. You just have to find your people in the right music community, and I think we've got that here in the Pacific Northwest.
I agree with you. I love the community we have out here. There's like, okay, hold on. My dog is being so silly. Okay, stop it. Hendrix Jane, what are you doing? Stop it. No, leave my cup alone. That's my water, not yours. Okay, do you want up? You want to come up and lay down? You could do. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Come
okay.
on.
We've had several fur babies as guests. Trust me, they find a way on the camera.
Yeah, she's going to be part of it. She's not. She's not taking no for an answer right now. Say hi.
Well, hi, Hendrix.
Anyway,
Hi, Hendrix. He's like, oh, I just love you.
she's such a love. Yeah, she's just such a good girl. I love her so much. I've never had a puppy before. She's my first puppy. Okay, that's enough. All my dogs have been rescues. I have 3 total, but the other ones I got when they were older. So she's like my first real puppy.
So I'd kind of asked you about this before. I mean, you've got a list of damn credits now. Not just singer songwriter, amazing human being. You are so sweet and so funny, and then to find out that you are actually an author and you've written a book. Um, for me, I was like, oh my God, is there like nothing this woman can't do? So why don't you tell us all about that, and then also too where we can get that.
Okay, so my book is called Read Me Bitch, This Is What It Means to Be Human. And it's a collection of like, I call it a collection of writings. Some people would call them poems. I don't know. It's kind of how all my songs kind of stem out of this kind of like, it's a lyrical thing. I don't know what to call it really. It's just a collection of rhymes basically that I put together about different experiences that I've had, people I've seen, places I've been, feelings I've had, reactions that I've felt to certain things. It's like I put it together because none of these were ever going to become a song. So I'm like, all right, I need to do something with this. I have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of writings like this. I write all the time, constantly. So I just picked a bunch of them. I was like, I'm going to write what it means to be human. What does it mean to be the human that Meghanne is? So I put together all these poems that just describe various experiences I've had, feelings I've experienced, people I've seen, situations. Sometimes I'll look at a situation and write like I'm in the middle of it, even if I'm not, and try to change the outcome sometimes. Sometimes I'll write about like just to be different. Like I'll take other people's songs and rewrite the lyrics to them. Or I'll take like a story that is a beloved favorite and I'll write it backwards and just change it up a little bit, by writing it backwards, like Little Red Riding Hood or something like that,
That's
just to
cool.
keep it interesting. And so that book has some stuff like that in it. That's basically what it is. And I
Yeah,
have another one I'm putting together. I've actually put together. It's in the editing process.
I totally need to get this book. And where did you say we could get it?
Amazon. It's on Amazon. You can get it for $15 on Amazon. You have to go into the book part because of the Read Me Bitch title. They consider it an adult only book. So you have to be looking specifically for books. But if you go in there and type in Read Me Bitch, it'll pop up.
I absolutely have to have this book. And then next time I see you, you're going to have to sign it for me. So
Oh, for sure. For sure.
what is the funnest part about being a musician? What is the best part for you?
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is such a random thing. And it's the vibration. There's a vibration that I feel when I hit a certain note or I hit the harmony with my voice and the guitar string or the piano notes just right, or I can fall in line with a chord and like maybe, come in on like the relative minor or something and just kind of changes it just a little bit or just adds to it and makes it so there's a vibration, right? And when you feel that vibration, I know you know what I'm talking about. When you feel that vibration, you're like, I don't know how to explain it other than like smooth glass on an ocean. Like you're out in the ocean and you're on a sailboat and all of a sudden the ocean just opens up and it's just smooth sliding straight through. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
just there's no roughness, no nothing. It's just a perfect slide, and it feels so good to me. I love hearing it when other people do it, and I love being able to do that. And that's really what the most enjoyable thing is for me. It's like a high. I totally get high.
Right. No, I
It's an
completely.
adrenaline rush all the way.
So what is the bigger difference between and so you are also in a band with Raymond, and then you are a
Yes.
solo artist. What is the? And I'm sorry, my brain has just gone blank. Can you please tell me the name? I know it's.
Wicked Paradox.
Thank you. My goodness, I'm so sorry. I'll edit that out. But what is the difference between you working as a solo artist and working on that end?
Well, working as a solo artist, I am like putting all the parts and pieces together all the time. And I'm always like thinking ahead and trying to make sure that I have everything set up and that, I'm totally 100% ready to go. And I double check and triple check. And, I have to have my mind on a lot of different things all at one time. Whereas in Wicked Paradox, that's a shared responsibility. So like, I don't have to be 100%. Some days I can be 80% and he can be 100%, or some days like he can be 80% and I can be 100%, but it's a lot more of a team type situation. I do have teamwork in my solo project for sure. Lynn Sorensen produces me, and I absolutely love the way that we work together. There's just an artistic creativeness between the two of us. It's absolutely freaking phenomenal, and I love it so much. He and I definitely work as a team too, but it's a little bit different because I do all the writing in that, like he'll add to things or he'll make suggestions about stuff, but when it comes to Raymond and I, it's completely 50-50. Like we both put in the same amount of work. It's the same amount of like everything goes into Wicked Paradox. And so it's not just me. It's nice having a teammate and somebody to bounce stuff off of.
I completely agree. And then I also completely agree about having one hell of a producer that just gets you. Um, we personally are very, very fortunate with the producer and engineer that we have. They are now working together. So when we go into studio, we are all there together. And it is crazy to me that somebody gets me like that. I mean, because I don't speak musician, so when they're talking to each other, I'm like, what the hell did they just say to me? Like, what? I don't get how like my guitarists will talk to one another, and it's just gibberish to me. Um, our producer can come in and be like, he can just put it out to me in a way that not only do I get it, but his timing is way more impeccable than mine. And having that, having somebody have your back like that, but looking out too for the best interest of your music. I don't think that there's any better zen in the industry. It's just a godsend, you know. So I get it. So where
Right.
you guys have shows coming up, don't you?
I do. I have a show on Friday, this coming Friday, June 13th, but I have one on June 14th also. Glenn Cannon is going to come play with us at the Real Art and Wicked Paradox and the Kent School of Rock. And then I'm going to go up and play with Glenn Cannon and Trip the Wire and Virginia Street Revival up at Tony V's on Saturday, the 14th. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah,
And then I've
that's a
got
hell of a
like,
lineup.
you can look at my website and there's a shows tab. Yeah, I've got a lot of shows coming up. So if you want to come catch me, look at the shows tab on my website and just scroll and you'll see I'm everywhere from Goldendale to Wenatchee to up north to down south. I'm all over.
Oh my God, Glenn Cannon, you and Trip the Wire, dude. I don't think you get a better lineup than that. That's badass. And a Tony V's. Oh my God. Plus,
Gonna,
I think I did. You just say that you are playing the Real Art, right? So the other day I was on the Real Art. If you
yes.
don't know and aren't from our area, the Real Art is in Tacoma, Washington. And for me, I think it's one of the better venues that I've actually played. Sound that, I mean, the people that work there are some of the coolest, most knowledgeable people I think I've ever worked with. They're super easy to work with, but they've upgraded. So you get on a stage that's been completely upgraded, and I'm really jealous because I really want to go up there. So you're gonna have a good time with that.
Oh, I'm so excited. I just saw that actually today that they had remodeled that. And I was like, no way. That's so cool. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I get to play on the brand new stage and the brand new floors with the new lights. And I think they put a
Lighting.
new
Oh
sound
my god.
system in too. It's going to be
Yeah, I'm
beautiful.
fucking jealous. I'm not even
I
gonna.
can't wait.
Oh my god, man, you
Oh man, I can't wait.
So, I mean, you really are an inspiration. It's not just your spirit, and because in meeting you, I think I fell in love in like 2 seconds. I was like, oh shit, we are going to be friends. Like, and it's been great. Um, Today, in fact, I think I fell in love even more because I posted something about like, go ahead, piss me off. I'll just put glitter in your. I'll just put glitter in your. What is it? Your leaf blower, right? And your
Leaf blower.
yes, and
Yes.
it'll be looking like Tinkerbell done hit a landmine. It was, um, I have that cracked me up for a few reasons, but your response to it cracked me up even more. You're like, I can't believe I never thought of this. Oh God.
I will so do it.
No, it was funny to me because I had an ex boyfriend who I knew was just a shady character, like tried to convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
But, something never was right about the dude, and I was so right, so right. So he played a dirty on me, and so I got even. The man had this like immense, like I don't even know how to put it, but glitter for him was like the bane of all existence, and so I sent him a
Challenge accepted.
I sent him a box of exploding, like they were like it's dick glitter, and it had like 5 pounds of dick glitter. And so when he opened the box, it just exploded with dick glitter. And so for me, I hadn't thought about.
Oh,
I know, I know.
that's so excellent.
No, that was literally like, yeah, that was my win for the day right there. So putting in somebody's leaf blower, I couldn't believe I didn't think of it myself. Oh
I
God.
can't believe I've never thought of that. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have confetti cannons in my living room right now, a whole box of them.
Are you serious? Oh, so
Oh yeah.
you need to bring that to the girls' float. We're gonna have fun with that. We're gonna have fun with that. So if you,
Oh, I always have them. I always have them.
so I mean, with you looking back on that 14-year-old in that video, right? And you're like, oh, girl, like you just don't know yet. And I kind of really, that really kind of hit me in the chest because I was like, well, what would you tell a young person or somebody wanting to get in the industry or somebody who really wants to be a musician? What would you tell them? And would you say the same thing to that little girl?
No, that little girl has a hell of a journey in front of her. But as far as just specifically music, doing music, I think the most important thing about, getting into the music industry and being a musician and becoming a musician and just making that it's a lifestyle. It's not, I mean, there's hobbyists and there's people who, kind of dabble in it a little bit here and there. And then there's people who will go out and they'll play a show every now and then, or they'll go do open mics and stuff. And then there's people that like pour their heart and soul and energy and life and everything into it, right? And it just like yeah, 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 me too. Me too. I think depends on how much you want to go into it. It's not an easy path. It's not a get rich quick. It's not, you don't do it for the money. You do it for the gratification of seeing people smile, of touching people's hearts, of creating connections. You do it because you get to touch that vibration and feel that adrenaline rush. You do it because you get to go different places and see different things and have new experiences. And some of the views I've seen are absolutely amazing. I got to go to New York and there was my face on a billboard. That was absolutely freaking amazing. There's I played 5 shows in New York last year.
That is amazing.
I had a
I
really
would
good time.
die. I mean, I
Really
would
good time.
die to see something like that. I would just, I would, that's it.
Times Square. Times Square. It was
Are
in
you
Times
kidding me?
Square. My face was on a billboard. No, I'm dead serious. In Times Square. It was the coolest thing ever. There was an author that had brought me out there. Her name is Christy Mickelson. If you're into reading and you like romance, she's your girl. She's great. And she was like, I want you to come out here. I want, to, introduce you to these places. And there was a bunch of shows booked and performances. And I had a great time. And I got to see an eclipse from Lower Manhattan in my not in my shoeless feet because I wore the wrong shoes to be walking 19 freaking miles. It was crazy. It was crazy. But I mean, I had an absolutely amazing time. I rode the subway. I almost got into a fight in Harlem. It was great.
Oh my God. I would. Okay. I need to take you on tour with me. That just sounds like a good freaking time, man. I mean,
I will show you where all the fat is. We will find all of it. And the pizza by the slice, you got to find the good pizza.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
little place in a corner. In the corner, it's a little hole in the wall on the corner in Times Square, across from where the Darth Vader guy hangs out. That's where the best pizza is.
Okay, it's on and cracking. We are going to New York. We're gonna go. We're gonna go rip some shit. Okay.
Hell yeah! Oh my god, I love New York. So fun. So fun. There's a radio station out there too, and he does interviews with people all the time. He's a really cool guy. He likes to talk to people in musicians all across, and it's WBGG or WBGG radio in Long Island. It's like one of the older Long Island radio stations, and I got to go and like tour their building and stuff and kind of see what was going on out there. It was really cool. Like I definitely had a good time in New York.
And
There
that
was a
sounds
lot
like
of cool stuff.
I know that we have like a few minutes left, so I want to make sure that we tell everybody where they can find you and where they can find your music, and then tell us the funniest thing that's ever happened to you out on the road or at a gig.
There's been some funny stuff. I'll start with that. The funniest thing that ever happened was I got into a gnarly car accident and I hurt my leg pretty bad.
That's not
And
funny.
I hadn't figured out yet I had blood clots and a fracture. So I was like still out walking around. Next day I had gigs. Are you kidding me? I'm not canceling anything. So I was at the Odd Otter. And I'm like, my leg was like really hurting me. And so I kind of sat down and tried to put it up on this little stool and it wasn't really working. And this guy like came up out of the audience and just sat down on the stool and held my foot up for me for like 5 songs. It was hilarious. I'm just like, this is good. This guy wins. This wins.
I don't know what's
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I needed to go. That was good.
It was great. It was absolutely great.
I mean, that only happens like in true rock star fashion. That's just so cool.
Right. I'm like, I'll take it. That was awesome. And then I had problems with my legs. So there was like, that was a whole different story. But you can find me at meganstorey.net, which my name has a lot of extra letters in it. So it's Meghanne Storey. It's on the bottom right here. If you can see it, you can read it. It's right there. And you can go to meganstorey.net. I've got shows, I've got pictures, I've got links to songs. You can kind of find out anything that you want on there. I'm working on putting a link on there for Wicked Paradox. Wickedparadox.com is the other website that I have music on with Raymond Hayden. And then you can find me on Facebook under Meghanne Storey. You can get me on Instagram under Meghanne Storey Music. I've got Meghanne Storey Music on TikTok. And, you can always come to a show and say, hi, I would love that. I love to meet new people. That's definitely a fun thing to do. So
yeah,
come up and say hi, come to a show.
I am definitely going to be making it out to a show sometime soon in my future. Looks like we got like 10 minutes left, which is longer than I was expecting. So cool. If you could quote something in the music world that like really inspires you, what would that be?
Wow, that's a tough one.
You know what my favorite one is? Don't fuck it up. Just
don't fuck it up.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. Don't fuck it up. I thought, okay, well, you know what? And what's really funny about that is, what does that look like? Like, what does that really look like? What's it mean to fuck it up? And so I really had to think about that. And at the end of the day, what I actually came to the conclusion of is it's don't overthink it, stupid. that's exactly, I think, what that meant, with what that was supposed to mean to me. Like, just don't overthink it. Just go out and do it. And I think it was really profound for me, because it made like the decision to get out of my head and do the damn thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't fuck it up.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. I have a couple of mantras that go through my head occasionally, but they're like one of them is more directed at like just it was a situation that I was in with a friend who thought that I was a better writer than I am a singer and told me that I should not be singing, I should stick to writing. And I remember looking at him and being like, what? Said no one ever. You are the only person who's ever said that to me. And so like I kind of think in the back of my head, I'm like, fuck you sometimes, I'm just like, yeah. That's I say that to that in my head. I say, I really like I really like Natalie Merchant and Sarah McLaughlin a lot. Sarah McLaughlin is probably her and Natalie Merchant are both, they're my biggest influences as an artist. Like Natalie Merchant, hands down. And it was what she did that really inspired me. And I was only like 7 years old. I first saw her on, it was Saturday Night Live, and she was dressed up in this really cute little, like, it was like a kimono with the hair, and she had like this cool makeup on. And she did a cover of David Bowie and Space Oddity. And it was
Oh,
like the coolest thing I had in my whole entire life. And I was like instantly completely enamored with her. And I followed her for years after that. Like everything that she ever put out, I've got every single cassette tape from 10,000 Maniacs to, she just put some stuff out this last year in 2022 and was on tour with it. She's just amazing. She's such and her writing is very, very detailed and very descriptive and very to the point. And I think mine kind of mirrors her a little bit. But Sarah
see
McLaughlin
that.
would definitely be another one for me that really did a lot of things that was like, oh, that's cool. Or Tori Amos, like, I see you. I love it.
Yeah, I can actually hear that in your music. I can kind of see that in the way that, um, both of those artists, for me, they just they have a way of speaking direct. Like, they use words that only they hear in their heart, in their head. Most people can't. They can't, like, bring that out to words for other people to hear. You know what I'm saying? And they're really amazing at not only telling stories, but also, those things that go on in your heart and your head. You know what I'm saying? That you can't, and maybe that, you wouldn't know how to explain to somebody else. And so I think you kind of represent that as well, of some of the things that you're able to sing about and that you're able to talk about. Those are just not things like most people want to or know how to. And I think, that goes into a lot of other things: mental health, emotion stuff, relationship issues. I mean, happiness. I mean, sometimes people don't know how to be happy. And
Yeah, they,
but you can't always express that. It's just something that you can't. It'd be really difficult for me to put that in writing. I've put a few things. I've got a few songs out there that, um, when I very first did them and they got, really done, like, I couldn't get through them without crying because I knew what they were about. You know what I mean? And now,
I do. I know exactly
yes,
what you're talking about.
yeah, like, I really struggled for a little while, and I didn't. I Funny thing is I didn't even know until that moment that that's what I had written it about. Until I know that it's going to be pretty badass if I not only get the goosebumps, but I get emotional about it. And, maybe that's just because I'm a Cancer Leo and I'm emotional, driven anyway. But, um, those things, that's how I know that it might affect somebody else, is when I can feel that.
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you're saying. And sometimes when I'm singing, I have songs that will choke me up. Um, like I do a cover of Country Roads, and about 80% of the time I choke up. I can't not make it all the way through it because I have this like connection to that song through a teacher that I had in fourth grade, who brought John Denver to my school. So like I think about all that and I think about her impact on me and the fact that I never got to say thank you for what you taught me and showed me. this door, this avenue, this amazing thing that I never knew that I could actually hold on to in that way. Like she absolutely was the first to expose me to it. And I just it sucks. And so it's like I sing that song and I sing it for her and I choke up probably 80% of the time.
Yeah, I wrote. A lot of people know about this, but I wrote a song, and it's the one that it's still to this day, like if specific people are in the audience, I have to look away, and sometimes I have to turn away and you can hear it. Like I wrote a song about a friend that died from cancer, but was not expected, and it happened so quick that
Oh,
the only option I had was, and it was on my husband's birthday, which was even more horrid, and my option was to go in the garage and write it out. And so it was the only song I've ever written once. I never looked at the lyrics again. I never thought I would. I thought I was just going to put this one away, and it wound up to be something pretty special. And uh, there's a video on YouTube where I did it live for the first time, and you can just hear me. I'm like, my heart wrenches every time I have to think about doing it. And even to this day, like it was supposed to bring hope to a really, really dark situation, and I really hope that it does do that. It just reminds me of, like, I don't know. It's a very difficult song. I'm so glad I was able to do it, though. It was like that was the first time I personally was able to get how I actually felt out on a piece of paper. You know what I mean? It really felt it was more therapy than it is, anything else. But as for, like, moving on in the future, what's your future plans?
I'm just going to keep going as far as I can go. I'm on this road. The time's going to pass. I'm going to go on the journey for as far as I can. I'm just going to see what I can see. The goal is Madison Square Garden. That's my stage that I want to stand on. And when I stand on that stage, I'll have to reevaluate my future and figure out a new goal to shoot for. But that's my goal right now is Madison Square Garden. And I say it all the time, Madison Square Garden or bust. Madison Square Garden or bust. I mean, there's no other option. So I just have to keep doing what I got to do to work towards that goal.
I completely agree with that. Mine was Whiskey a Go Go, and I did it. I also played Rainbow, and I played Orange County Fair. Like, these are things that you grow up in the '80s, and you're like, I'm gonna play these places. You know, I've got a few more on my
Do
bucket
that.
list, but I mean, once you get to the point of doing something that you set out, like, okay, so that was my point there. Uh, but I'm not done yet. You know what I mean? Like, once you're capable of doing that once, there is absolutely no reason why you can't get out there and go to the next level. Go to the next level because nobody's going to do this for
Right. Right. So what's going to be the next stage?
you. Right? Nobody.
I'll
Yeah,
figure that out when I get there.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, nobody's going to hand it to you, so you just got to keep, continuing to find the next page, the next stage, the next evolution of yourself, and then, after that, same thing. It's the grind. It's what we call the grind. You know what I mean? And sometimes you get tired and weary from that
I
road,
do.
but it's because of that road that you're doing. That you are who you are. So it's a yeah. There's a twisted paradox there for real.
Oh, totally, totally. It's twisted, but you know what? It's just how it works. You just have to. Nobody's gonna. Nobody's going to make you be a teacher. Nobody's going to make you be a restaurant manager. Nobody's going to make you, be anything that you don't put yourself in the position to become. So if you want to do something specific, then put yourself in those positions so that you can do that specific stuff. I want to sing. I
So
did.
I guess what we were saying is, when once we get to a certain point, like, there is no certain point. We just continue to keep going and going and going, and not allowing. We can't always, as musicians, like, we get tired, and we get to a point where, you know you wonder if you can keep going, and then something somewhere along the line, or you just snap out of your own head. You're like, I can't just quit. It's not really just addictive, but it's almost like this is, for most of us who are grinding and not, weekend giggers, or, people who are actually, like, striving for their career, it's more of a life choice. This is a complete life choice. And so you don't get the option to you do get the option for downtime, but you don't get the option to just stop, because it's almost like the world that your own personal world would stop if that happened. Like, some of us just have to go
Right.
until we decide, or the universe decides, what this looks like. Are we going to go pro? Are we just going to be like Rolling Stones and be like 100, 20 million fucking years old and still grinding? I mean, I don't know what this looks like for us personally, but regardless of how tired I am, or regardless of how much I put into it, how much it's costing, all those things, you wake up the next morning, you're like, where's the next stage? Let's go. You know what I mean? And some days
Yeah.
absolute struggle to even figure out like how you're going to get there. I can't afford to do this right now, but somehow, some way, it's almost like the universe deems, okay, well, you have this opportunity, um, figure it out. You'll figure,
100%.
you know, or
100%. Yes.
or to like all fall into place, like they say like people that, in the drug and alcohol recovery, right? They have a really great saying that, you woke up as an addict, and somehow you got your fix without a job. You didn't have to bum off of people, but somehow, some way, you got it, right? Why can't you do that sober? Like, why can't you? That you There is no reason. You know what I mean? Like, if you're willing to work that hard into an addiction, which this is to a degree, um, then regardless of whether or not you have a job or you broke, if they say go to New York, you'll fucking figure it out. You know what I mean? I mean, it's so funny how you stress on it so bad, and then like out of nowhere, the universe like allows shit to fall into place. It's the craziest thing I've ever.
Absolutely. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Every time, every dang
It
time,
is
every dang time. When I went to New York, actually, that's funny. When I went to New York, actually, I wasn't sure how I was going to perform because I was supposed to go solo and I had just broken my hands. Like I had just like I cut my hands. I broke a bowl and it went through my hand and cut through two tendons and five nerves. And I was like in a cast and I didn't know how I was going to play the guitar and like I still went. I went because I wasn't going to not go. And a friend of mine ended up coming with me and playing guitar for me the whole time I was there because I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. I mean, I would have found a way, but you know what I mean? I would have
right,
found a way.
right. I mean, and at the end of the day, you know, up until a certain point, nobody's really going to advocate for you. People do. Don't take me wrong. I'm not talking about like, um, but you have to do the grind in order for everything to start falling into place. And here's how I know every,
Right.
and here's how I know everything's going to go well, right? Everything falls apart, right? It falls apart. You don't know how you're going to get,
Right. Right.
and you're
Right.
like,
Yes.
oh my god, and the stress is a lot. But at the end of the day, like, if you just keep fucking going, somehow, I don't know. It's like by the grace of the gods. I have no idea, but somehow, at the end of the day, it all winds up working out. And if you're supposed to be there, and I'm not saying if it all goes perfectly, it's not worth it. It's just sometimes the universe shows you what you could have if you're willing to work for it, and then we'll take away the situation so you do have to work for it, and then you earn it. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it won't, like, it wouldn't it wouldn't just the universe just
I feel like I find that it just yeah I feel like I find this give and take thing with the universe a lot too where like I go through where everything falls apart and it's like the worse that everything falls apart the better the good is that's coming up around the bend. You know what I mean? Like everything may suck right at the moment, but I know that because I feel this way and I'm going through all this and it feels like the end and I just can't figure out how to pull myself out of this slump, that just means that the bright day that's coming for me is going to be that much brighter because it has to equal or it always seems to equal. It's just as bright as it is dark.
yeah. And see, that's why it was so important to me that, we I don't think that people that maybe outside people would understand, but what we're talking about, um And then at the end of that road, we're both awarded with Washington State Independent Music Awards, was literally the highlight so far of my personal life. Being in that room, uh, getting up on that stage, having the honor of my peers vote for me. Um, I don't think there's, I don't, at that point, there was no struggle too hard, that wasn't worth that. That for me was,
Right?
I'm still, and I've told you this before, I'm still so humbled and grateful. I still have no idea. Like, I have not absorbed it yet. I haven't processed it. I do have a beautiful little shelf that they all sit on, and we got four that I'm still to this moment like, and not to
Totally know what you're
underestimate
talking
us,
about.
but it's almost like how, you know what I mean? Um, but it's those kind of rewards. It's the not just having those trophies that we have, not just having that honor, but having the support of the people around you, who each and every one of those people have gone through the same shit. It's that for me is just that's how the universe works in the musician's life, because it it doesn't it wouldn't give you the reward at the end of the day, because it would never rob you of the journey to get it your fucking self. You know what I mean?
Right. Man, and the journey is so fun. The journey is so fun. I mean, you
It is.
learn so much. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not an easy journey. This is probably the most difficult path you can choose to walk down any
True.
kind of creative profession. With AI and all the different things that are coming into play right now. Being a creative person that writes and plays music and does it's a really difficult path. But you learn so much about yourself as a person and who you are, and you learn about the world around you and about other people and about humanity. It's so rewarding.
It really is. It absolutely is. And along the way, I've been very blessed in that to gain friends like you, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're in my life now, and you're not going anywhere. I've adopted you too, so you're stuck. You're stuck now.
Oh, same. Same. I knew I loved you. I saw your Broken Dolls video and I was like, oh no. Oh no, these guys are freaking awesome. I was like, these guys are so awesome. I love these guys so much. Like and then I started to like learn about you guys and learn more about you and like kind of how you came, and I'm like, man, this girl's got a really similar kind of story to mine. Like she's been through it. You've been through it too. And I
And
just love that you're standing out here and still doing it, and like you're here at this point in your life, and just like I am, like we're not in our 20s, you know what I mean? I'm not
no,
20 years old anymore. I'm a mom. I got grandkids, like come on.
same.
But I'm still standing here following my own dreams, and you are too, and I think that's so important. I think that speaks so loudly.
Well, and I think too that it's just I mean, I've only been a lead singer for 4 years of my life, and I've the places that I've done and what I've accomplished in 4 years, and that for me, like it aged. I was just joking the other day. I go, watch my ass be like 53 years old and finally get my first record deal. You know what I mean? And I heard myself say it out loud, and then I was like, 53. God damn. Like, when I was growing up, like, if you didn't get it by the time you were like 21, like, you were never going to get it. Times have definitely changed. But so is like the attitude. I think this is where you could actually say age doesn't matter. It's the only time I'd ever say it. Because I don't think there's any limitation. I think it's self-limiting. I think you kind of decide on your,
Yep.
but for me, I'm out to change some record labels' minds about this shit, and quick. And that that for me, I believe that's my next stage. You know what I mean? That's where I'm heading to, and I've seen it happen recently. People older than me, so you know, it,
Same,
it's
same,
it's only a
same.
dream.
I
It's
see it
only a
happening
dream
all
if
the
you think
time,
about it and don't
actually.
do it. Yeah. So, honey, thank you so much.
Exactly.
God, thank you so much for coming on. Um,
Absolutely. Thank you.
you are so inspiring in so many ways. I mean, it's it's amazing how you think, um, not just about like where you've been, all the pain and all the lessons you've learned, and how you've helped grow into this amazing ass woman, but then too, your outlook on other musicians as well, and your support for people, in the grind, and honey, you're just absolutely amazing, and I really, really appreciate you, and I appreciate you being here.
Same. That feeling is mutual, 100%. Thank you so much. I love you so much. I
I
think
love you.
I think the world needs more music in it.
Yes, actually,
Make more noise.
well, I'm going to. I just got out of the studio, going back on Saturday, and I'm going to be hopefully getting this out this week so that we can go back into my normal rotation of shit. Because I did put you out as the next interview, and then that happened. So you know, shit
It's
happens.
all good.
But you know
It's all
what?
good.
At the end of the day, it's just all about getting it the fuck done.
Exactly. You know what? Sometimes you just got to do it and just make it happen. So it's all good.
All
I'm
right,
here for
Megan.
it.
I'm here for
I'll
you
see you.
too. And thank you so
Yes.
much. And if so, go and like and follow this girl. I'm going to give all of her links down below. And if you're new here, thank you so much for suiting up and showing up and coming in, sitting down with a band chat tonight. And if you have returned, man, you guys have helped us get to almost 38,000 subscribers as of today. And we are so blessed and grateful. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that ding ding, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
And this is exactly why we do band chat. This is bands talking to other band members about the grind, about the realism, about what it's really like to be in a band, the insecurities, the celebrations, all that. And I'm telling you, Meghanne Storey, she is an inspiration to each and every one of us. So please go down to the description, like, follow, and share. If you're listening for the first time tonight here on Metal Cross Radio, this is our very first episode, and we are so blessed to have been offered this opportunity to syndicate our podcast. If you would like to see previous podcasts, please go to our YouTube channel at Innocence Torn, and you can sit down with folks like Steve Unger from Metal Church. You can sit down with legends, badasses like Sin Karen from Siglos, and then you've got Ivan Plume from White Zombie, and then on top of it all, you can sit down with Pacific Northwest best metal and rock and songwriting musicians who are literally every day living their dream, fighting every day to live that dream. That is what band chat's about. It is about sitting down with your fellow musicians, supporting them, and learning about their journey. And I hope you guys join us next week. Thank you guys so much. And next week, we are going to be bringing you one of the most badass musicians in the Pacific Northwest, Josh Payne. This man is phenomenal. You guys are going to love him. If you don't already know him, Washington State Independent award-winning artist. You guys are going to love him. And his story is absolutely amazing. So from all of us at Innocence Torn Band Chat, thank you, YouTube. Thank you so much, Metal Cross Radio, for giving us another home. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Let's go.